A very good morning. Welcome to our mid-morning show. My name is Charlotte Mbuga and I'm your host. And with me today I have two guests and they're just going to introduce themselves.
Thank you so much. I'm Ochieng Yvonne, a student of Mount Kenya University, and I'm very happy to be in the show this morning.
You're welcome.
What a great and beautiful day to be here today. My name is Colin Sonyango, economic strategist.
Thank you. So guys, today we are going to talk about how the economy of Kenya is really in a very bad state, which is really affecting both students and even the normal wananchi here in Kenya. And we are going to start off with the high cost of living. You know, high cost of living is affecting everybody. Like no matter you're a student, you're a parent, you're who, it's affecting everybody. So on that issue of the government not offering subsidies to flour, which the government had promised, the current government of Ruto had promised that he's going to offer subsidies to flour so that after them being elected in office, they say they're going to reduce the prices of unga, but that did not happen. And we have seen that we also have things like even fuel, it's very high. Cooking oil, it's very high. Gas. So I'm just going to ask my guest here to talk more about that. And I'm going to start with the economic strategy.
I think our current government, during their electioneering period, they rallied through the narrative of Mama Mboga and the Hustler Nation,
Yes.
which we are not seeing currently since they got into office. They talked about the 100-day period,
Yeah.
and right now they are over 60 days in the office right now. But we're seeing things are getting worse and worse. So I don't
Yeah.
know, we're going to expect more worse things coming by in the future days or what? Because people are really suffering. We're seeing places, drought hitting hard the country in various areas, and we should find long-term solutions. We've been talking about the Kimore dams. I think if these projects could have been gotten done with by now, they could really come in hand, with the through in the agricultural sector,
Yeah.
and this could create a long-term solution to cover up, and
This
effect
issue
through
of
food
drought.
security issue,
Yeah.
and I think we should prioritize, the government should try and prioritize the basic things that the Mwananchi needs currently before thinking about, deploying soldiers to DRC,
DRC. Yeah.
to these will just take more money, from the taxes of the common Mwananchi, which is very unfair. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the government should try and put the effort to the right things,
And
to help
prioritize.
help
Yeah.
prioritize what the normal Mwananchi needs as per now.
Yeah. And I think even in his manifesto, he had said that he's going to make food security a priority. But then we find that very many people are dying in Kenya as at per now because most people, they do not have food. And even those people who can be able to afford food, we find that food itself is very much expensive. We have said that the price of flour is at 200 bob right now. And you find that very many people here in Kenya are not even making 200 bob per day. You have so many people who are below that line. So I would just love Yvonne to kindly talk about that, how it is affecting students, because we have seen that the way it's affecting the local mwananchis and all that. But how is this really, really affecting a student in campus?
Thank you so much. So basically, I'm a comrade, and most of us are not employed. We
Yes.
depend on our parents for our daily survival. So I can't promise you that you do take 3 meals a day, because there is no way you can buy a flat 200 shillings, and you buy a sugar, you buy like a cooking oil. Literally, that is around 500 shilling, and
It's gone.
it's gone like that, and you have to survive. So you have to strategize your life as a comrade for you to survive. Utapata, like, a comrade is taking breakfast, lunch, and that's approximately 100 shillings.
Yeah.
And ungeangalia the economy hapo mbele, literally that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
A
A,
comrade
a student could be able even to eat
eat
with
both
50
meals,
bob.
yeah. But as per now, 100 bob is not money. So these issues of unga being raised, so you just take one meal for you to survive. like you can't eat ugali twice a day. If
Yeah.
you want to starve, you can just dare do that.
Yeah.
So this issue is really affecting comrades, and according to me, I can just say things have to be done,
Yeah.
because it's really affecting our education too. Because I'm going to class, I'm stomach hungry. Will I be concentrating on my stomach or the lecturer? You see, so this issue of flour and all about the subsidies is really affecting us as comrades. Thank you.
So the government should really, really look into that. And of course, you also have the issue of, lack of job opportunities here in Kenya. This has been something that has been going on for a very long time. Each government, when it comes to office, they are promising the youth, oh, we are going to give you jobs, we are going to give you jobs. But this is not happening. So I don't know what President Ruto is going to do about that, or even his government as a whole, because we find that there are so many people who have no job opportunities here in Kenya. But even with that, being that people do not have jobs here in Kenya, we find that he's going again an extra mile of taxing these people who have no jobs. So imagine you have no job, but still you're supposed to be taxed. I heard they're going even to tax the M-Pesa money. So I would just love my guest here to talk more about that, what the government should do, or if it is good for the government to continue taxing people, or even to increase the tax, yet even the local wananchi cannot even afford the daily basic needs that a human being is supposed to have.
I think on this matter of taxation, yeah, you can only come around and talk about taxes. Yet, if you are doing something, as a government to create opportunities, for people out there, how are you going to tax someone that is trying to fend for themselves, trying to survive? Actually, this is not living. This is survival. This is a
Yeah.
matter of survival. How are you going to tax that kind of a guy? We just seen the other day, the president actually scrapped off, the program, the Kazi Mtaani program, so instead of creating more opportunities for people, he's trying to reduce on the opportunities of people. He talked about scrapping the Kazi Mtaani and coming up with the housing plan. But how many people are going to be employed in the housing plan? Yeah.
And not very many
It's
people.
not so many people are going to get the opportunity.
Yeah.
How about we keep the Kazi Mtaani project going on? We keep the housing projects going on. Come up, help our industries that have gone dead. Come back on the come back
To running.
to running and,
Yeah.
and working. And then we can talk about having having more opportunities for our people. That means more taxes for the government.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for everybody, and
Yeah.
and everything. We all survive. Everything becomes so easy, and we are grateful about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see, when the government starts taxing people right now, and people even have no jobs, people have no income, and then you're going ahead to tax them, I don't think if that is really, really a good idea. And then they're saying maybe that money, because the government needs money. I heard that the government is doing this because it needs money. And even on that issue of, withdrawing HELB, it's because the government needs money. Because I think they used to give 28 billion to universities. I mean, those students that are being sponsored by the government used to issue 28 billion for their school fees and all that. But you find that because the government wants to make more money, so that is becoming now our problem, because we, as the local wananchi, we are the one now to give that money to the government, and the government is going to take that money from us through taxation and through like wakitoa vitu like HELB. You find that the parents are the ones who are really, really, really struggling to raise even that money for you to take your kid to school. And maybe in the near future you find that education will be very expensive. Maybe only the rich people are the ones who are going to afford education. Itakuwa sasa kama kitambo, because education used to be for the whites. Yeah. So we'll just love to urge the government to really, really look into that. And again, on that issue of job opportunities, you find that the Kazi Mtaani you're talking about, yeah, Kazi Mtaani, it was started by nani? Uhuru Kenyatta, yeah, former president, who had started that initiative, and I think it was really, really helping people, because you find that so many these young people and the youth, so many of them had gotten something at least there to do something, and they could get something out of that. So, but right now you find that somebody has nothing at all. You have no job, and even sometimes you find that you have gone to school, you have the papers, but you have no job.
I
So
think it's really sad, we have so many people with purpose out here, just sitting, staying at home, maybe trying out one or two things. Things are not really working. We should have good policies, to help out, whether you're out of school or whether you're out there. It's the mandate of the government, to come up with opportunities, to come up with ways to help people survive in this country. There's no way you'll talk about, you'll talk about scrapping off, you're giving a very good point about, the government programs, in schools, scrapping off that, that is going to really affect people greatly. If we having a literate nation, yeah, then it means people have the ideas, to go sit down, maybe even create
Yeah,
job opportunities for themselves,
innovation,
do something, yeah. So the government should really like look into it, put some money into effect to help these people get on their knees, like make every, one if one, let's say, comes with something, yeah, and maybe they're supported, let's say, even if it's a loan that you have to pay it back, but create something, good, maybe a long-term plan for him to pay up maybe the loan, maybe without an interest, I think that one good progress for one person maybe can create opportunities for somebody else,
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of we really have to think big, come up with good policies, and
Yeah.
I think these will be very effective for each and every Mwananchi.
Yeah, and me, I'm just concerned that the government is, education and food security are, I think, very important things that a country or like a president is supposed to really, really look into. Because if you cannot be a country and you cannot even feed your own people, how can you be a president and then you cannot even feed your own people? So I think he's supposed to go back to the drawing board maybe and start prioritizing things that are really, really important for the people of Kenya. Because I don't think I had one MP just before you. I had one MP saying that they are going to tax these ladies things, this makeup, cosmetics and all that. That if you used to buy a makeup kit for 3,000 bob, it's going to go for 9,000 bob. So I'm just wondering, how can you tax? I don't think if it's wise or if it's important or if they're going to generate more money taxing cosmetic products. And then in return, he said that they're going to to offer the sanitary towels freely. And I think sanitary towels are supposed to be offered freely. They were just, I think when they started this devolution, the women rep, I think that was their main project to make sure that every girl, every girl in that constituency ama in that is supposed to be able to have a sanitary towel. And they were supposed, in fact, they started by going to campaigns to different schools and all that and giving out them for free. But now they are saying, because this particular MP is saying that he's going to push that of making sure that the cosmetics goes high to, she said, triple the price, and then in return we get a free sanitary towel. So what is your thought on that? Let me first start with Yvonne.
Okay, basically I can say, like, whatever that person is talking about is not even adding up. There is no connection between a sanitary towel and a makeup kit.
Because you find that not very many people are using makeup, but again, every girl is supposed to have.
Yeah, literally every person uses a sanitary towel, and not everybody appreciates the use of a makeup.
Yes.
So there is no way they are going to earn through raising the amount of a makeup.
Or even if they will earn money out from that, I don't think if they're going to keep their promise of giving the free sanitary towel, because this was something that was started long time ago.
Okay, so they should not even touch on that, because that's not even an exception.
Yeah, I think it's just supposed to be free, like.
Yeah, it must be done, because we need that thing. Girls need that thing.
Yeah.
So it's something that it must be there. So there is no need of even negotiating about such ideas, because if they withdraw something of that sort, or they change how things have been
done.
Yeah, they are going to affect many girls. Hapo ndo watu tunakuanga na confidence. If you are safe down there, you are safe. Like, even your confidence is strong.
Yeah.
So
your
if they
self-esteem.
your self-esteem itakuwa tu poa. So hapo kwa me, according to me as a student, I can say that they should even talk about sanitary towel. They should continue with what has been going on.
Yes.
Yeah, they support it fully.
Okay, let
Yeah.
me hear from you.
I beg to differ a bit with my my friend Yvonne, you see, cosmetics are non-essentials. Like it's something you can live without.
Yes.
So I think them whether raising taxes on maybe 50%, 100%. I mean, I don't think it's much of a big deal. The only issue that comes by is where is the money that is going to be
Collected from that. What is
really
it going to
to
do?
do?
Yeah.
That's the only issue.
No, he said that is the money they're going to use now
buy the
to
sanitary
buy
towels.
sanitary towels.
But the big question, as a country, we've seen how corrupt these officials
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
How
So
money has
the
been
big issue is the money going. They are just trying to scheme or find ways, to get more money
To
cover
into their
generate more
pockets,
money. Yeah.
if they are really going to help the common mwananchi, because some makeups, something you can live without. But anyway, um, as long as if it's for the good cause, then why not? Let the money go, maybe help the girl child. We're just hoping that the money, if the the motion is enacted and the motion is passed about the increase on taxes on the cosmetics, all we're hoping is that the money really goes out there for greater cause, for helping out, the common mwananchi, putting out, we should at this at this century we should not be talking about basic things like sanitary towels for our girls out here.
Yeah.
These are something that they should really be having them out here.
We also see that we have several government leaders, or rather political leaders, who are talking about the increment of the public servant salary, and yet they claim that we have no money in this country, and the country as a whole, we are going through very difficult times because we have no food. They're talking about removing the HELB and all that, and yet they're talking about the increment of their salaries, because we know most of them, they're talking about their interest. So how is that going to affect us as a country?
I think this is a matter of personal interest, because there is no way as a human being, like a normal human being, you'll go somewhere, sit down in a meeting, start thinking of having more money for yourself, yet as a country we're seeing, yet as a country, this is money that is coming from the taxpayers' money, like our money, and yet people are out here suffering, out of hunger, no job opportunities, we're seeing so many graduates out here just suffering, just moving around, doing Django kind of works. And yet people are sitting in the public offices have no papers. So I think as a country we should really reevaluate and look into the policies and the kind of things that we're doing, put our efforts into the right places, into the right things, instead of giving more money, to the public servants. Why don't we take that money, create something, get food, to people in Turkana, to people in Samburu, people are suffering, create dams, create irrigation schemes, something long-term solutions to help us, create good survival mechanisms for our people as a nation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yvonne?
Me, I think that this money they want to increase, like they want to increase the salary. So I guess this money can be used to do something constructive in the nation, because basically there is no schools. Unapata tu in cities, utapata there is a lot of developed school, but back then in Gishagis, like in the rural areas, there is no schools. Students are like classes, there is books, so they better take this money and use it in such places.
They're to invest it in
Yeah,
education rather than...
in something serious,
Yeah.
because these people are running a lot of money, so I don't see the need of adding a lot
adding
more
them
money on
again
top of
more
what
money. And
yeah.
at the end of the day, we as the local wananchis, we're the ones who are feeling the pain,
Yeah.
because we're the one paying tax. Most of them are not even paying tax.
So this person is not even paying a tax, and the tax you are paying as a common mwananchi is still used to add money on top of
what
this
he
money
earns.
has.
Yeah.
This thing is not even, like, it's not good. So me, according to me, I don't see the idea of increasing the salary, but rather that money should be used in something else to build a nation, because we are at a dilemma right now. So they better sit down and strategize their thoughts very well, because what they are saying is not even right.
Okay, before we conclude, I would just love you to give us your final remarks now about all this that we have talked about and about the state of Kenya economic-wise.
Thank you so much. So we've talked a lot about a lot of things, the issue of economy, the issue of increment, job opportunities, health issues. So basically, I know we have able leaders in the country. They can do great things. The only thing they need is great advisors, because there is no need our leaders. They're making decisions that is really affecting the nation. So basically, they should sit down and think twice for this nation to have another step of maybe economically, like economy wise, political, in our political realm, like everything they do should just be aligned
Yeah.
to how we are living. So me, I can say they just need to do things right, and we will make a great move. Everybody will be just fine. Yani the country will be just fine.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think as a nation we should start looking into long-term solutions to solving, the basic needs for the common mananchi. Housing, food security, and then I think at this age and era, education is something that is very also important. So I think as a country we should enact and look into finding long-term solution. 50 years, close to over 50 years after independence, we still like crying over food security. It doesn't really sound right. As a nation, we should sit down. The government should do whatever it takes. Find a way, something long term. To get rid of all these once and for all. Thank you.
Now, guys, we have come to an end of our show. I've been your host, Charlotte Mbugwa. Enjoy the rest of your day.